Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan James. I'm a mindset coach that loves to focus on relationships. I hope you had a beautiful weekend, or you're starting your week off well, or you're starting your weekend off well whenever you're watching this video. If you're watching it currently, it is Monday, so happy Monday. In today's video, I want to just put out a reminder about the quickest way to create change within your life. And a lot of what I talk about on my channel is adjusting your beliefs and regulating your nervous system so that you can begin to show up differently, respond to life differently, and create new results in a sustainable manner. But what that really means is you're stepping into a completely different version of yourself, right? So instead of waiting for people to change, you're going to be the change you seek to experience. Now, in that, if you really accurately apply this, you really do have the ability to shift dynamics. You can recreate dynamics with people, you can outgrow patterns, you can create new experiences for yourself, you can attract in new relationships, you can increase your income. I mean, you can build a new body. There's so many things that we can do. We really have limitless potential when it comes to the things we want to create within our life. But again, I think it's really important to take a sustainable approach and really look at what I'm talking about, which is instead of waiting for people to change or waiting for circumstances to change or letting circumstances serve as evidence as to why you can't create change within your life, you're going to need to take the focus off of all of that. Well, first, you need to assess what's going on and what you need to adjust within yourself. But you have to hit a point where you stop focusing on circumstances and you really bring a focus to who you're being each day, how you're organizing yourself, what you're focusing on in your mind, and the behaviors that you're materializing. And if you can do that in a very accurate way, then you're going to be able to step into a version of yourself that responds to life completely differently. And the point to all of this, the point to belief work, the point to nervous system regulation, the point to bringing the focus to yourself is so that you can live in the end of a version of yourself that has generally normalized the outcomes you want to create within your life. And if you think about that, okay, if you want to elevate within your life, you're going to have to tap into a different version of yourself, that next level version of yourself, that healthier version of yourself, that more regulated version of yourself, that version of yourself that doesn't give a fuck about people's opinions, that version of yourself that doesn't allow insecurities to get the best of you, that version of yourself that can show up each day focused and intentional, and that version of yourself that really responds differently. And, I think people have been a little bit shocked with my content because lately I've been giving you guys a very assertive approach because that's really what it takes. That's what living in the end of a different version of yourself means. You're going to set completely different standards. You're going to uphold boundaries. You're not going to allow the fear of loss of people to stop you from living your best life or to stop you from embodying a version of yourself that knows you get what you deserve. And at the same time, you should also know that the people in your life love you, respect you enough, and recognize you enough that even if they don't like you upholding boundaries or operating in a different way, they're going to realize that they don't want to lose you and that they're going to be willing to do anything that they need to do in order to keep you in their life. Some of you, okay, I want to expand on that a little bit. Some of you are a little bit afraid because you're like, if I do this, these people aren't going to like it. And then how is that going to change anything? I'm just going to lose them. But at the same time, the other option is let me continue to silence myself and accept things I don't like and let this person hurt me. So you're more concerned about not losing a person and you're okay with being hurt rather than realizing you don't deserve to be hurt, upholding boundaries and trusting that people are going to recognize you and step up to the plate and rise up to meet you where you are. That's a problem, right? I'm not going to sit here and continue to allow you to hurt me because I don't want to lose you, because I think if I know my worth, my value, and I believe in myself, you're not going to like that and you're not going to respect me. And if you don't rise up to be honest, to be 100% real, if you don't rise up to the occasion, if you don't rise up to meet me where I am, which again is just realistic expectations, mutual respect, love, consistency, treating each other with human decency. If you can't rise up to that occasion, you're fucking lame anyways. Okay, like didn't need you. Okay. But some of you are allowing the fear of loss to consume you to the point where it's like, but if I do this, they're not going to like it. Okay, well, they're doing things you don't like. They're doing things that hurt you. So why are you so concerned about like losing them when how this person is operating is completely inconsiderate, dismisses your emotions, and makes you feel like crap? Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Okay. So to go back to the point of today's video, the fastest way you create change within your life is you fearlessly live in the end of a different version of yourself. You decide, this is who I am now. This is what I believe. This is the standard that I'm setting. And anybody that does not want to fall in line with that, I don't care. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you're upset about it. This is what I get. And you don't break that focus. And again, think about it. If I want to elevate in life, if I want to go into new experiences that I'm currently not having, I need to show up differently. I'm going to evolve into a new version of myself that can bring in those experiences. And oftentimes, when we're looking at success, when we're looking at maintaining success within our life or building success within our life, you don't have the time for BS. You don't have the time to play games. You don't have the time to sit here and wonder. You don't have the time to sit here and assess how somebody, like, what their intention is. People that are highly successful are very, very decisive and they don't put up with bullshit. They will set a boundary, they will remove you, they will do what they need to do in order to protect their peace, to protect their mindset, to protect their mental health, and they know that they deserve that respect and that recognition. And if somebody is not willing to do that, oh wow, goodbye. That's what living in the end is really stepping fearlessly into a version of yourself and protecting your mental peace. You have so much going in your life, you don't have the time to sit here and spiral over a person. You don't have the time to sit here and wonder what somebody's intentions are. We're out here making money, we're out here elevating, we're out here building our body, we're out here building our careers. If people cannot fall in line, if they can't be respectful, if they can't be considerate, and they don't want to take you or your emotions, your like your mental health, any of those things into consideration, and they're acting in selfish ways, somebody that is highly successful and is embodying that version of themselves that knows that they get what they want, goodbye. They're not going to put up with that. And that's a harsh truth that some of you need to actualize and embody. Because the only person that's getting in the way of you creating the life that you want is the attachment to certain people, places, and things that is causing you to shrink and causing you to fall back and causing you to accept things that you don't want. And that's not to take full responsibility for their actions. We play a huge role in the dynamics we create. And if we're overlooking red flags, if we're silencing ourselves and we're accepting things that we don't want, we really need to assess that. But that doesn't give somebody the right to treat you like crap, to cheat on you, to play games with you, to emotionally manipulate you. That's where you have to really look at things and see, what am I learning here? What do I need to adjust within myself? And once I go through these adjustments, do I want to give these people a second chance? Like, damn, when I was down and out and bad and not valuing myself properly and not having the best beliefs, they were out here running all these games on me. Do I really want to look past that? Do I really? Or do I deserve people in my life that even if, I'm not operating in the best way, that if they don't use that as an opportunity to take advantage of me? So again, to the main point of today's video, the quickest way you create change within your life is you savagely, fearlessly, unapologetically define who you are, how things show up in your life, and you allow those definitions and beliefs and values to guide your decisions. And if you can do that, which you can do that, you can create massive amounts of change in your life in a very short period of time. If you can really place the focus here, show up for yourself, take care of your body, build your beliefs, and stop reacting to all the BS and letting people play games with you, and you don't care whether or not you lose them, and you just set a new standard and you keep it real, you're mature and you're regulated in how you handle these situations, your life is going to elevate quicker than you can even imagine. That's what living in the end is stepping fully into that next version of you, which has nothing to do with circumstances. You can make that decision right now. You can turn this video off right now and look at your life and get your shit together, to be honest. And that's what we need to do sometimes, right? We need to get real with how we're taking care of our body. We need to get real with the routines that we have in place. We need to get real with what we're entertaining. We need to get real with our mental health. We need to get real with the things that we're holding on to mentally that are not serving us. We need to get real with the narratives and the limiting beliefs that are no longer serving us in life. And even if we feel victimized by the things that have occurred, deciding to no longer be a victim, deciding that we have the ability to create a new belief system for ourselves, that we don't have to be held hostage to our past. We don't have to be held hostage to our mistakes. We don't have to be like our parents. We don't have to be like how our mom showed up or our dad showed up or how they handled finances or relationships or their career. I know that some of you are heavily impacted by that, and you can address that. You can address that. You don't have to repeat those patterns, but it's going to require you to bring the focus here and step into that version of yourself and make that decision each day. And you're not going to be perfect. Sometimes you're going to fall down. Sometimes you're going to fall back into an old way of operating. The goal here is to keep bringing yourself to the end, to make progress, to be graceful with yourself, to do your meditations, to do your nervous system regulation, and to really look at how you're responding to things and how you are entertaining things, how you're upholding boundaries, what you're accepting and what you're not accepting, and getting very, very, very real with the things that you need to stop accepting. Because once you do that, it's game over. It's game over. You're going to be able to create whatever change you want in your life. Okay? All right. I love you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful day this week. Don't accept any BS. Okay? Set a new standard. Focus on living in the end of that version of you and don't give up. All right. Love you. Bye.